Three biggest training mistakes to avoid that is making fat loss more difficult for you. The other day, we went over everything when it comes to diet and nutrition. On today's training, we're going to go over everything when it comes to training, the gym, your workouts, being able to create a body that not only is a fat burning machine, but hey, you're able to be strong. You're able to build muscle, which is only going to speed up your metabolism even more. Let's get right into it. Curious to know what kind of workouts, programs, or anything along those lines have you tried in the past? This can be like full body workouts. Maybe that's one muscle group per day. Maybe that's like a push pull legs. Curious to know what have you tried so far in terms of workouts, in terms of the gym, in terms of if you tried
Yeah,
any programs.
yeah. Back then, I used to do the 5x5. I'm not sure if you heard of that program.
Yep,
I,
of
I
course.
used to do that, yeah,
Yep.
religiously
He
for a
said
good amount.
religiously.
Yeah,
Was that the only thing that you tried before?
yeah, yeah. That actually like stuck with and made it a routine at one point.
Yo.
Yeah, and now I'm kind of just like winging everything, like you know, like pretty much the way you have it, like upper body and then lower body. This day, incorporating walking, but. Of course, ever since, I've gotten older, it hasn't been consistent at all.
Hmm. Hmm. How long ago was like the 5x5?
Oh God. We're talking back like in 2012.
So that's
It
like,
was a it was a long time ago.
yo,
Yeah.
this was before like the YouTube. This was before like the Instagram reels and all of
Y-
this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I stumbled across it just from reading online.
Yo,
Um,
it was like
at the time.
bodybuilding.com.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was, but it worked, and I did it for a long time, and it was great. It was great. I achieved a lot of like goals at the time,
Yo,
when it came to, hitting like PRs and stuff like that.
yo, 100%. Dude, I'm on the same exact boat as you. That was like when I first started my fitness journey when it comes to like strength training and like really trying to lift more weights. So 5x5, dude, that was the OG, the OG
Yeah,
for
it was.
strength training and everything. They didn't have all these specialized programs and stuff.
No, not at all.
Well, the reason why I asked is because there are a bunch of different workout programs out there. There are billions of different exercises out there. Hey, there are billions of exercises per muscle group. We got cable
Mm,
exercises, we have machines, we have dumbbells, barbells, you name it. Uh, and the truth is, they all work. All of them work. But how come there are so many people who work out every single day, but they still don't see any changes in the mirror? I'm sure you guys have known or seen those people before. People who go to the gym religiously, but they don't look like they make any changes, or hey, they don't look like someone who works out like that, including myself. This picture right here was right before the pandemic, right before when everything shut down. Like I was going to the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week, working out, intermittent fasting, getting my steps in, but I was 30 pounds overweight on top of what I would typically weigh. I was around 220 pounds here, which is my all-time heaviest. There are a few reasons why that was the case, even though I was working out a ton, even though I was religiously going to the gym. Number one is I was doing way more cardio instead of weights. I would be on the treadmill. I'll be trying to burn as many calories as possible, thinking that, hey, that's going to help me get lean. That's going to help me burn calories. That's what's going to help me get rid of the belly fat. That's what's going to help me get rid of that chunk in my midsection. This is the result of too much cardio and not so much weight training, right? I ended up being skinny fat almost. It's like, yes, I have some shape to my frame, but I didn't necessarily look like six-pack abs or defined muscles. This is my current reality, right? Because the reality is the more muscle you have on your frame, the more calories your body burns by default. It's why those big bodybuilders, they need to be eating five, six, seven times a day. And that is simply because their bodies require so many calories just to function on a day-to-day basis. And if they don't eat that much food, they're going to end up losing weight. And that's not what they want. Personally, for me, my maintenance calories is at 3,000 calories. And if I don't eat that much calories, I'm going to end up losing weight and losing weight really, really quickly. When I took out my wisdom teeth a couple of weeks back, oh man,
Yeah.
I lost like 4 or 5 pounds in a week simply
Mm.
because I wasn't eating like I was typically eating. Second reason why a lot of people train consistently, they go to the gym a lot, but they might not see the changes that they want. And they're making fat loss way harder than it is. And that is working each muscle group only once per week. Xavier, I'm curious to know, for you, how many times a week are you like training each muscle? Like before this challenge started?
Uh, I was like, honestly, I was like mediocre. I didn't do anything special, right? As of recently, like when I first started talking to you, it was just like the basic things. Okay, so I would do like basic curls, basic overhead presses, basic chest presses, basic bench presses, and that would literally be like my upper body workout um every other day because then I'd rotate it. Then I would always put my ski machine afterwards instead of running. And then for leg day, which is basic deadlifts, um, hack squat or leg presses, and that's pretty much like the only exercises like I did and just rotated every other day.
Gotcha. So you're working out what, like three, 4 times a week then? If you're doing every other day?
I was, I
Yeah.
was,
Okay,
I
gotcha.
was.
So that means, hey, you were working each muscle group like twice a week, about twice a week.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Because let's say that you were to train chest once per week, right? That's only 52 times in a single year. Whereas, hey, if you were to train chest twice per week, that is 104 times in a single calendar year. Massive, massive difference. Uh, Typically speaking, with the when you train chest once a week, typically that will be like a typical bro split, right? Chest and triceps
Mm.
on Monday, back and biceps on Tuesday, legs on Wednesday, shoulders on Thursdays, arms on Fridays. Yes, that's an amazing split, but you're really only training each muscle group once a week. And science tells us that, hey, your muscles actually recover pretty quickly. Within 48 to 72 hours max, hey, you're able to hit another session, which tells us that, hey, you are capable of training each muscle group a little bit more frequently, which in return is going to help you make more gains. Again, the more muscle you have on your frame, the more calories your body burns by default. Now you might be asking, how in the world am I supposed to train each muscle group twice a week? This is why I highly recommend full body workouts or an upper lower split. For everyone that is a part of this challenge, you guys have an upper lower split. This is the exact split I've been running for the last 15 years of my fitness journey. Ever since I started, and I still do it till this very day. Like it's that good. Like it's that goaded.
It is, it is,
That
it
hey, there's
is.
no need to stop doing it. And with those workouts, right? Obviously, I don't expect you to be training two, three, four, five muscle or four, two, three, four, five exercises per muscle. 1 to 2 per muscle group. Hey, you're chilling. Uh, and I highly recommend that you focus on your big compound exercises, your lat pull downs, your overhead press, your bench press, your rows. This way, hey, you're able to burn more calories, build more muscle, you can lift more weights, right? And you get the most bang for your buck from your workouts. I'm not saying that curls are bad for you, or I'm not saying that side
Mhm.
laterals and all of these different exercises for these small muscle groups aren't good for you. But especially if you don't have all the time in the world, and you're trying to get in and out of the gym. Let's say you have work, right? You have kids to take care of, you have a family to attend to. Ain't no one got 2, 3, 4, 5 hours at the gym every single time.
Yeah.
But when you focus on these big compound exercises, 3 to 4 times per week, and you're able to get the most bang for your buck from your workouts and get in and out of that gym. And last but not least, third reason why, or the third biggest mistake a lot of people make, that is hindering and making fat loss way harder than it needs, is not having a real progression. I'm curious to know, Xavier, are you currently following any sort of progression when it comes to your exercise? I know you have a general baseline in terms of exercise to do, like you rotate them. But what do you usually do in terms of like sets, reps, or like progression wise?
Depending the lift, I mean now, like I'm pretty sure you could see in my, I don't know if you can track it on the app, but I
Yep.
don't go as heavy as I used to. But I pretty much do the standard three by tens, you know. I
Mm.
mean, I'm not looking for like if I want to go heavy, if I were to want to get big, then I'd probably shoot for, a lower rep. I used to live by, fatigue, like live till failure, you don't have to hit like your 10 to 12 reps, but I don't. I do it pretty much like enough to like really get the exercise where I'm like almost dying but not dead, knowing like I still have to continue my other workout. So it's right now it's just 3x10s, 3x10s. That's my goal, 3x10s.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so 3 by 10s, are you just using the same weights every single time?
No, actually I try to go up 5 pounds, comfortably 5 pounds. If I could shoot more, I'll do 10, just depending on how good I feel. But I'm not like I learned like the hard way of just jumping weight because I'm not that young anymore. So yeah, no, I like small increments.
Yeah. And how often would that be for you upping the weight
Probably weekly,
weekly?
weekly. Yeah,
So you up the weight like pretty frequently then, every single week.
yeah, yeah. Like this one, like before this, I probably hadn't worked out since like April.
Okay.
So yeah, so this one, like I'm starting like super low that I don't want to go too heavy aside from injury, but I don't want to be like where I'm like so sore I can't even like this already kicks my butt. Like I already tell you, like this already kicks
Yeah.
my butt. So those 5 pound increments, I feel it. So
Yeah.
this week I'm gonna go up, and that's how I kind of gauge it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, the reason why I ask is because, just going to failure every single workout is not a progression.
Yeah, and I
Always,
used to do that.
yo, always trying new exercises is not a progression either. You ain't confusing your muscles. You ain't giving it a new stimulus by trying new exercises. You ain't making things, hey, more interesting by adding new or changing up your workouts, right? Or just doing more, whether that is doing sets, reps, weights, whatever the case may be, is not a progression. This graph right here breaks down how progress is made, right? How is progress even made when it comes to your workouts? First, obviously, you need a workout, right? Which induces the stress. But as you can see, you don't just get the results from the workout, right? You work out first to break down your muscles, you tear down your muscles. Then you need to actually recover from that workout before you're able to see the results. In order for you to reap the rewards of the workouts. So, what does this tell us? Progress is made by first, you have to induce some sort of stress to the body. Secondly, you have to actually allow your body to recover from that workout. Then you get results. So, how do you induce stress to your muscles? Right? How do you induce stress to your body? Plus, make sure that you're recovering from your workouts. Personally, this is my all-time favorite way to progress when it comes to your workouts. Obviously, there are a billion different ways to progress. You can add more weights every week. You can add more sets. You can add more reps. There's so many different ways to go about it. But what I've found over the course of the last few years, I've been running this for the last 3 years myself. And I literally have each and every single one of my clients run the same exact protocol. First, as an example, let's say you're doing the bench press, right? 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. I like to break things down into a 4 week cycle. Week number 1 is a 3 to 4 RIR. RIR basically stands for reps in reserve. So a 3 to 4 RIR should feel pretty easy. At the end of that set, you should feel as though you can do 3 to 4 more. Notice how this is not even near failure, right? Notice how this is not
Yep.
even close to you going ham where like you're literally like shaking and you're literally using every single fiber of your body to get that rep up. Week 2, it's a 2 to 3 RR, so it's gonna lower by 1. Week 3, 1 to 2 RR, and then week 4, it's 0 to 1 RR. 0 to 1 RR basically means you're going to failure. You should have no reps left in the tank. Now, to give y'all a real life example of this, what this actually looks like, right? A bench press, 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. Week 1, pick a weight where you do the low end of the rep range, which is 5 reps, right? Let's say that 50 pounds gives you the 3 to 4 RR. Week 2, I want you to use that same weight that you used for week 1. Instead of 5 reps, let's go for 6 reps. Week 3, same thing, same weight. Let's aim for 7 reps. And then week 4, same weights. Let's aim for all 3 sets at 8 reps. Notice how you're literally making progress every single week by adding an extra rep, even though you're using the same weight. What this is going to do is, one, it allows you to actually progress week to week, right? And secondly, hey, it allows you to not have to reach failure every single workout, which in return allows you to push that much harder for the next week. I don't know about you guys. We got David in here. We have Xavier. I don't know about you guys, but have you guys ever pushed yourself to failure like every single week, every single workout? And it almost feels like no matter how much you push yourself, you just can't add more weight to the bar or you can't do more sets, you can't do more reps. It almost feels like you're at a plateau and like you feel stuck every single session, or your strength doesn't feel like it's progressing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And that is exactly why I love this progression, right? And then once you complete all sets at the high end of the rep range, which is 8 reps, then hey, you can go up in weight, whether that is an extra 5 to 10 pounds, and then repeat that same cycle. Legit, I haven't hit a plateau when it comes to my workouts in the last 3 years. This was through dieting phases, this was through bulking phases, even right now, still haven't hit a plateau. And I'm 15 years into working out with powerlifting, with bodybuilding, with endurance training, all of it. And hey, I highly recommend that you guys start implementing it a part of your workouts. Now, my homework for you guys. Obviously, I don't want you guys to just have all this information and just let it out the other ear. I want you guys to start implementing as well. Treat this upcoming week as your 0 to 1 RR week. Xavier, I know this is like your first week back into the gym and everything. Well, second week technically now. I know that you wanted to start a little bit lighter and everything, but I know you have muscle memory. I know you're not new to the gym or anything. And your rep ranges aren't like super low or anything. So you shouldn't be at the point where you're pushing weights where you're going to be injured or anything. But what I want you guys to do is treat this week as your 0 to 1 week, basically your week to go to failure, right? What I want you guys to do is pick one of your exercises per workout. You don't have to film every exercise. You don't have to send me videos of everything, but film one set from one of your workouts and post it into the chat. This way, hey, we're able to see if that's a true 0 to 1 RR. And also, hey, I can also give you some form feedback as well. The reason why I want you guys to know if it's true 0 to 1 RR is so that, hey, you guys are able to know what that actually feels like. This way, hey, when you start implementing that 4 week progression, you know what weights to pick for your following weeks. How's that sound for you guys? Xavier, David, how's that sound?
Sounds great. Sounds great.
What about you, David?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I've been hitting RR a lot. The problem is my shoulder's injured, and so I have an issue with that. So I don't really want to push my shoulder to that limit right now. My
Yo,
left shoulder is kind of jacked, so I can only do a certain amount.
gotcha. If that's the case, then definitely don't on the upper days. I don't need you to get, I don't need you to make the injury even worse or anything. But maybe on your lower days, feel free to send that video of pushing it to 0 to 1 or
Yeah, that's fine.
let's get it. Let's get it. I know I threw a ton at you guys on this training today. Any questions? Anything that maybe I went over was a little bit confusing, brought you some questions, or hey, any training questions, anything goes, even non-training questions. Hey, the floor is yours. I have the next couple of minutes free. Feel free to ask whatever questions you guys have. Xavier, David, the floor is yours.
I
I'm
think
at a
I'm
plateau
good.
right now where I don't think like I'm getting bigger. Um, Especially with my left shoulder injury. It's been going on
Mm,
for like 6 weeks, and my weight isn't dropping even. Well, I'm at 166 now, and I want to get to 155 ideally. But I dropped from like 189 to 166 already, and I dropped to 162, and then I came back up to 166. But I want to hit 155 at some point. But how do you maintain muscle mass and lose weight at the same time while going through an injury, I guess? And I feel like I'm plateauing. Like I can do certain weights, but if I do higher, then I feel like it hurts. I guess that's a loaded question, but
yeah.
that's where I'm at.
You cool if I ask you a couple of questions? Just
Yeah.
get some more context on that. Uh, Curious to know how long did it take you to go from 189 to 166? Or I mean 162, and then now you're back at 166.
November of last year. So I went from November of last year
Okay.
to
So
like 162 was probably a month, 2 months ago. So I don't know, 8 months.
8 months. Okay, gotcha. And were you in like a deficit the whole time? Like a calorie deficit the whole time for those 8 months?
Yeah, so I just calculated my BMR based on where I was at 189, and then I dropped 300, and then every month I would drop 300.
Nice.
I dropped 300 below my BMR.
Nice. Okay, and you were able to see continuous progress until you got down to 162?
Yeah, 162 I stopped seeing progress, and then my maintenance I think is at 165, 166. And I can eat about 2,200 calories or something like that, and I'm still maintaining at like 166, 165, 166.
Nice.
But I can drop more, but I feel like I'm really, really hungry.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like just not eating enough when I drop too much.
Yeah. How long have you been at like 2200 for in terms of calories?
I don't really know. I haven't been calculating. Probably like a month.
Month. Okay. And you said you had a recent injury too, right?
It's been going on for like probably like 2 to 3 months. My left rotator cuff's just jacked up, and like
Yeah.
I'm working out at the same time, so I'm never gonna fix it. It's always injured, right? I
Yeah.
have to, in order for me to fix it, I have to literally stop working out on my left. I can't do any chest workouts. I can't do any shoulder lifts. I can only do biceps, and I can do back really if I really wanted to fix it, right? But I
Yeah.
don't. But then I start to lose muscle mass, right? They said like you start to atrophy truthfully after like 6 to 7 days, right,
No.
of not using it. So
I'm curious to know, like, is it a must for you to have to get down to 155? Like, you care about what the scale says, or
no, no, I just want to be like super thin. I want to be thin,
you want to be
you
lean,
know. Yeah,
right?
lean. Yeah, I want to
Okay.
be
Yeah.
lean. But the problem is if even
Yep.
if when I went to like 162, I just felt like I wasn't eating enough. You know, I felt like I was hungry all the time.
Yep. The only reason why I asked that is because it's definitely going to take some sacrifice to get down to 155.
Yeah.
Since you did lose a good amount of weight already. You lost
Yeah.
20, like 25 pounds almost.
Right.
So losing that next little bit is going to require you to dig a little bit. You're going to be hungry. You're going to have to probably do some cardio. It's probably not going to feel the best. Like
So once you start to lose the last 5 pounds, you have to do cardio.
you don't have to, but it's just, do you want to eat less or would you rather burn more calories, right?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or you can even do both to quicken things. Uh, if I were you, what I would do is I would definitely start tracking again. Uh,
Yeah.
because if you haven't tracked in a while, you don't really know where the calories are at. Uh, so I would start tracking again just to see where things are. You don't have to hit 2200, but see where you're currently at with what you're eating.
And
If
is it and my another question is when you start tracking macros, when I'm doing macros, um I'm doing about 160 protein and I'm doing about 100 in fats. From what I understand, you have to have a certain amount of fats, right?
yes,
Because that's where your hormones come from. And so I'm doing about 100 and 165 protein, but I can increase my protein. Will that help at all? I mean, from two to about 2.5, would that do anything for me? But then I don't want to tax my kidneys, right? Because then you have to drink a lot more water. So I
you'll
guess
be fine. You'll be fine.
okay,
When I was doing my bodybuilding show, dude, I was eating like 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Uh,
okay,
you might be able to drop the fats a little bit. 100 is a lot.
okay,
100 is a lot of fat for someone your body weight. You can definitely drop the fat a little bit and up your carbs.
okay,
And you'll have a lot more energy for your workouts as well.
okay,
Yeah, that might even help your performance at the gym, if anything. So if I were you, what I would do is I would start tracking again. Like, don't hit a certain number in terms of calories or macros. Just track to see where you're currently at. Uh, and hey, if it's a little bit high, hey, maybe cut down a little bit. Cut down by like 300. See how your body weight responds to it, right? Uh, the reason why I don't want you to drop too much in terms of calories is because obviously I want your performance to be pretty high at the gym, so you can maximize uh, the amount of muscle that you have on your frame. And if you don't really care about what the number of scale says, like you rather just be lean, be able to look really, really good, and also be able to perform really well, just be in a slight deficit. And when you're at the point where it's starting to affect your energy levels, hey, just get back up to your maintenance and just chillax there. Just make sure you're progressing with your workouts.
And is there any change in workouts that you can do? Like right now, I feel like I do a lot of I don't max out, but I do like sets of 8 to 12, right? And I progress through 8 to 12, and then I try to increase it, but sometimes I just can't. Does changing my workout to like calisthenics only, or to like just push-ups and sit and pull-ups for like 2 weeks, does that help? Because I feel like my body's getting really efficient at what I'm doing. Like all my weights and stuff like that. All the things that I'm doing are essentially the same thing over and over.
Do you feel that way because you feel as though you're at a plateau in terms
Right,
of
right.
your progression? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Personally, I don't think you need to switch up the exercises into like body weight calisthenic stuff. Dude, real talk, my own program that I run from my coach, dude, I do the same exercises for 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
Like
And
it's
then what do you do after 4 to 6 months?
it's boring, bro. Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
hella boring. Like honestly, training is pretty boring. It's repetitive, you know what I mean? You're doing the same things over and over again. After the 4 to 6 months, depending on what my goals are, then obviously we might change up some exercises and we might add in a different variation. But if I'm still making gains, we're just gonna continue milking it. If I were you, if you feel as though you're stuck at a plateau, because you joined before I started talking about this progression right here.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I've
if I were you, I would run this progression.
Okay.
Biggest thing though is week one, make it easy. Like week one is supposed to be easy. Honestly, week 1 to 2 is pretty easy. Uh, the reason why I want you to make it easy, so the 3 to 4 are let's say you're doing the bench press, 3 sets, 5 to 8 reps. Pick a weight that you can do the low end of the rep range, which is 5 reps, right? And then at the end of that set, you should feel as though you can do 3 to 4 more. And then week by week, add an extra rep to it. What this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to have more room to progress throughout the weeks. But if you were to just go super heavy week one, it's going to be really hard for you to continuously progress week to week. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try that.
So I'm gonna have you purposely, intentionally drop the weight a little bit. The
Okay.
first few weeks might be easy, but then throughout the next couple of months, you're gonna be able to continuously make progress. Let me know. Let me know if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I can drop down, and that's
Yo,
fine.
it's also probably gonna be better for your shoulders too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Did that answer your questions?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go into like a calorie deficit about 200 and then try to
Yo.
decrease my fat and increase my carbs.
Because 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, whereas
Right.
1 gram of carb is 4 calories, dude. You can up your carbs quite a bit, to be honest.
Okay.
Yep. I got you. Any other questions you have, just let me know. If not on this call, just shoot me a message. I got you, bro.
All right.
What about you, Xavier? I know you had a question earlier.
I think I'm good. I think you touched
Okay.
base on everything.
All good. All good. David, you have any other questions? Or you're good too?
No, I think I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hope that you guys took away something from tonight's training. I know you guys aren't new to the gym or anything, which is awesome. Because hey, this isn't like brand new to you guys, right? But go ahead and go into this week. Well, obviously after this conversation with David, you probably shouldn't do the 0 to 1 week when it comes to your upper days. But on your next lower day, send me a video of one of your exercise where you're taking it to 0 to 1. Xavier, I definitely want to see you go 0 to 1 on your workouts this week. Post up a video in the chat. Let's see if it's a true 0 to 1 RR. And hey, I can even give you some form feedback. By the way, you guys literally have access to me as your coach for another week. So take advantage of it. Like, ask your questions, send your form videos. If you guys need help with anything, let me know. This way, I got you guys with the resources and set you guys up for success. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Have the best night of y'all's lives. And let's all
Thank you.